right now on 12 News at 10.
I'm Tiani Jattling in Chandler. An officer-involved shooting led to one 22-year-old dead. What police say led up to the incident tonight.
I'm Maria Stobbs in Tempe. Tonight, questions about a camera inside a dance room at Corona del Sol High School. Police say an employee used it to watch girls change, and now parents want to know who else had access to that camera.
The high heat continues for the next couple days, but I'm also tracking some increasing rain chances for the upcoming weekend.
And an Arizona Olympian is back in the valley to help raise money for kids in need.
12 News at 10 starts now.
We are following some breaking news in Chandler, where a man is dead tonight after being shot by police near a busy intersection. Thanks, everyone, for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Kariba Devine.
And I'm Troy Hayden. It all started when officers responded to reports of a man waving a gun at a Circle K, leading to an officer shooting and killing that man. 12 News journalist Tiani Jattling joins us live in Chandler with what happened. Tiani?
Troy Caribe, just within this last hour, police crews have started to clear the scene. Many of those vehicles are now gone. But when officers first arrived, they found 22-year-old Romero Anthony Hernandez waving a gun in different directions. And we've learned this evening he was shot by an officer and later died. Take a look at some of the footage that was shot of the scene earlier this afternoon. Chandler police say multiple commands were given to drop the gun, commands that Hernandez ignored. One officer fired a single round, striking the 22-year-old, causing him to drop the weapon. Officers attempted life-saving measures before Hernandez was taken to the hospital in critical condition, where he later died.
A gun was located near Hernandez, and an additional firearm was also located in his waistband. Officers did not know who the individual was as they were responding to the call. That will be something that the Mesa Police Department will look into as part of their investigation.
Now, police tell us they believe Hernandez drove to the location before the incident took place. The officer involved will be placed on administrative leave while the investigation is being conducted. And like you just heard moments ago, Mesa PD is leading the investigation and learning the incidents that led up to the shooting earlier this afternoon. Live in Chandler, I'm Tiani Jattling. Troy Caribe.
All right, Tiani, thank you for that. We are working to learn more about a bad crash that happened in Glendale that left a child unconscious. Earlier today, emergency crews responded to a 3-car crash near Deer Valley Road and 67th Avenue. You can see a vehicle there completely flipped on its side. We're told that one child was left with a head injury while several other children were evaluated for non-life-threatening injuries. We're still waiting to learn more information on what caused the crash.
Tonight, Corona del Sol High School is telling its families that Tempe police have identified all the victims who are connected to a voyeurism investigation. A district employee arrested for allegedly using a school surveillance camera to record girls changing their clothes.
12 News journalist Maria Stobbs is joining us live in Tempe. And Maria, there are still a lot of questions about why this camera was allowed to be on in that room.
That's right, Troy Caribe. The camera at the center of this investigation was in a dance room at Corona del Sol. It's since been covered, but parents are now wondering, why was it there in the first place?
When the news came out that there are cameras inside our dance room, I was not too happy.
It wasn't until a voyeurism investigation that Cecilia Treviso realized her daughter's dance room at Corona del Sol High School had a camera.
Nobody told me there was a camera there.
She says her daughter has been taking dance there for 3 years, and she's been told it was okay to change in the room as long as she was wearing a sports bra and shorts.
My daughter cannot be the only one who has asked to take off her shirt.
Over the summer, the dance room was used as a temporary changing area while the girls' locker room was under renovation. Tempe police say staff had requested the camera be disabled. However, that didn't happen, and a district employee, 29-year-old Anthony Cruz, accessed it. Over 6 days in July, investigators say Cruz watched girls changing and downloaded 7 videos, some up to 2 hours long. Police say the girls were sometimes only partially dressed. He was arrested Saturday after an audit uncovered his activity.
I saved it for documentation purposes to show that these cameras need to be moved. This is why.
Arizona law allows schools to use cameras for security and surveillance anywhere where a class could be taking place. And And the Arizona Department of Education tells 12 News it does not set policies for how local districts manage those cameras. But state law prohibits knowingly recording or viewing someone without their consent while they're dressing or undressing in a place where they have a reasonable expectation of privacy, like the dance room that was being used as a temporary changing room.
Just because they didn't catch somebody in the prior years doesn't mean it didn't happen. You don't know who has access to these cameras.
The district tells 12 News the camera is no longer operational, saying it did not know students sometimes changed in the dance room. The district did not say who has access to the camera or when or why it was installed, citing the ongoing investigation. Meanwhile, it's still unclear who was actually responsible for disabling the camera after staff requested it. Cecilia says the camera has now been covered with a trash bag, despite the room no longer being used as a changing room.
I mean, if that camera was there for a purpose to begin with, like a real purpose, they would have said, well, we can't hide it because of, and they would have let us know. They shouldn't have had it there to begin with.
Now the district says it's working closely with Tempe police, and they'll share more as the investigation moves forward. Live in Tempe, Maria Stobbs, 12 News.
All right, Maria, thank you. We'll follow this as this case moves forward. Let's get now to meteorologist Lindsay Riley. I feel like we've been in this extreme heat warning forever, but I know we're coming close to the end.
We are, yes. 2 more days to go. So Friday and Saturday. We did top out at 113 today. We were 1 degree shy of a record, but we had 2 record highs previous to today. At 10:07, it is still 102, and we're looking at a 56-degree dew point. This will make our way into the 60s this weekend. So even though temperatures will start to come down because of rising rain chances, it's going to start to feel muggier by the weekend. But for the extreme heat warning, we go until 8 p.m. Saturday for the lower deserts and western Arizona. So tomorrow we will stay shy, several degrees shy of a record, but still getting up to 113, which is just as hot as today. And then 110 on Saturday, which does run 6 degrees below the average. Now we will start in the low to mid 90s out the door tomorrow morning. So there's going to be very few cooling hours, even early in the day. Then around 9 to 10 a.m., we cross the century mark and we continue rising from there. 1 p.m., we're close to 110, forecasted high 113 for the day tomorrow. I am tracking rising rain chances for the upcoming weekend, including for Phoenix. More on that in my full forecast. Caribe.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. We'll see you then. Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays is launching a statewide review of flock cameras and similar license plate reader systems. The move follows reports of misuse and decisions by several law enforcement agencies to cancel their flock contracts. Mays says the technology can help solve crimes, but must respect Arizonans' privacy and constitutional rights. Her office will examine how the systems are being used and whether they violate Fourth Amendment protections against unreasonable searches and seizures. The findings will go to the legislature and then to the governor's office.
Some big water problems up northeast of the valley in Heber-Overgaard, but not for shortages. Fire is offering up there, the Heber-Overgaard, assistance to families who need water because a water tank broke open and emptied out yesterday. The local water district says its system is slowly coming back online, and residents there in Heber are being asked to conserve their water. Also, as a precaution, officials recommend Heber residents boil their water before they drink it until further notice, or use it in food until they can test for possible contamination. Heber-Overgaard Fire saying if you or somebody you know needs bottled water, you can see they've collected a lot of it here. You can stop by the station and pick it up.
Through power, eastbound, hit the median, wrecked out, 962.
Wow, check out this crazy video. Mesa police were involved in a police chase after a woman violated an order of protection. So they went on a chase and eventually that woman hit a median and spun out of control. When Mesa PD arrived, she hopped out of the car with a beer in hand. But that wasn't the only thing about the car. Police also found a dog inside of the car. Thankfully, the dog, though, was safe.
So accused of violating an order of protection, speeding away from police, crashing her car, getting out with a beer in her hand, and her dog's with her the whole time.
Yes.
A series of bad decisions. Very bad. Northern Arizona man, he thought he made a good decision to go up and do some camping.
A lot of people do that.
Camping's fantastic.
Yeah.
But then he gets out of his van and he's bitten by a rattlesnake, almost lost his life. He's in the hospital for nearly a week.
Yeah, this is kind of a nightmare situation. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra spoke with him, and he shares his story.
I'm happy to be alive.
A camping trip in rural Yavapai County ended in the worst way for Jason Hackett.
Before I can even flinch, it reached up and grabbed me. And it's the most excruciating pain that I can experience.
A rattlesnake bit him in the back of the calf and then slithered away.
It did rattle.
After it bit me, yeah.
He called his wife at home, who immediately called 911.
How long ago were you bit?
About 30 minutes ago.
Using GPS, Yavapai County Sheriff deputies were able to get to him and start treating him within a half hour.
My leg, it feels like it's spasming.
Focus on keeping, good deep breathing, right?
Yeah.
Stay calm. So we don't want your heart rate to get up too fast. So we just good deep breathing.
His condition deteriorated quickly.
Hey, buddy, I need you to talk to me, okay? You know where you're at?
And he was transported by helicopter to a Phoenix area hospital.
Jason, I'm right here, bud.
The whole time, Hackett tells me he was imagining the worst.
Just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. It was pretty bad.
Hackett says he spent about 5 days in the hospital and received at least 7 vials of antivenom, but the pain is still extreme.
It felt like somebody was pouring acid on my leg. Just the one leg.
He says he's grateful to the first responders for getting to him when they did.
I'm happy just to be here.
I bet.
Because it was traumatic. It was truly traumatic.
And he wants to remind other campers to always be aware of their surroundings.
Because I paid the price for it, and I'm still paying the price for it.
Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
Oh, glad he's okay. Gabby, thank you. Well, still ahead, some new details reveal what could have caused a deadly crash at LaGuardia Airport earlier this year. Why 2 air traffic controllers are now under investigation. Plus, new safety concerns over a popular roller coaster after an investigation exposes over a dozen serious injuries and even a death tied to the same ride.
In sports, the D-Bats continue their push for a playoff spot. They're in San Francisco playing the Giants. Could they pull off the W tonight? The time is now 10:13. We are broadcasting live from downtown Phoenix. 12 News at 10. We'll be right back.